Hello everyone. Welcome to this video on how to install Bold Reports Report Viewer SDK. Before getting into the process, let me briefly explain what the Report Viewer SDK is. Report Viewer SDK is a powerful SDK for embedding business intelligence report viewing and exporting tools right inside your software applications and presenting them to your clients as your own. It empowers any web or desktop application with Microsoft SSRS, RDL, and RDLC report viewing, printing, and exporting capabilities. These allow users to assess the status of their business and build bold action plans to meet business goals. The Report Viewer and Report Writer controls are available with Report Viewer SDK. The Report Viewer is used to view new or already created reports within your JavaScript, Angular, ASP.NET Core, ASP.NET MVC, ASP.NET Web Forms, Blazor, React, WPF, and UWP applications. Report Writer is a C# library that enables you to programmatically create and export SSRS RDL and RDLC reports to popular formats like PDF, Excel, CSV, PowerPoint, HTML, and Word. The Bold Reports Report Writer is supported in ASP.NET Core, ASP.NET MVC, ASP.NET Web Forms, UWP, and WPF platforms. Before installing the Report Viewer SDK, make sure that your development environment meets the hardware and software requirements. The hardware requirements for running Report Viewer SDK are 2.4 GHz or faster, 32-bit or 64-bit processor, 8 GB RAM for 32-bit or 2 GB RAM for 64-bit. 2.27 GB hard disk space only for installation files. The software requirements for running Report Viewer SDK are Microsoft Visual Studio 2010 or higher, Internet Information Services 7.0 or higher. The operating systems that can run Report Viewer SDK are Windows 7 or higher, Windows Server 2008 R2 or higher. We suggest installing the Report Viewer SDK on the developer machine. The browsers that support Report Viewer SDK are Microsoft Edge, Mozilla Firefox 22 or higher, Chrome 17 or higher, Opera 12 or higher, Safari 5 or higher. Now let's see how to download the Report Viewer SDK setup from the Bold Reports website. First, I open boldreports.com. I click Products in the top panel. And then click Report Viewer SDK. Then, I click the Sign Up Free button. If you are new to Bold Reports, provide the necessary information. And click Submit. If you already have Bold Reports credentials, or if you are an existing Syncfusion customer, click Sign In. Existing Syncfusion customers can use their Syncfusion login credentials to sign into Bold Reports. For existing Syncfusion Essential Studio users, Report Viewer SDK is free to use. You will be redirected to the Accounts page, and the product list will be displayed in the left panel. Click the Download button next to Report Viewer SDK, and the file will be downloaded. The setup file for embedded reporting and Report Viewer SDK are the same, but while installing the setup, the Report Viewer SDK will be installed based on the user license subscription. You can also download the application in zip format. Now let's see the steps for installing Report Viewer SDK. I double-click the downloaded file. The Login to Install dialog will open. Here, if you unlock the setup using your credentials, then the system must connect to the Internet. Alternatively, starting with Bold Reports 3.1.31, we have provided the option to unlock the setup using an offline license key. To unlock the setup using an offline license key, click Offline Install. If you have the unlock license key, then you can directly upload the license file. If you don't have the unlock key file, click the link to get one. You will be redirected to the Accounts page. Expand the Subscription section. Then click Get Unlock Key File. The file will be downloaded. To upload the file, click the Browse button. Then upload the file. For this demo, I am going to use my Microsoft ADFS credentials to unlock the setup. I click Login to install. To see the license terms and conditions, click License Terms and Conditions. Select the I agree to the license terms and conditions checkbox. I am using my Microsoft ADFS login credentials, but you can use your own login credentials. I click the Microsoft ADFS button. The Install Settings dialog will open. The Installation Location field shows where the application will be installed, and where the files related to the application will be copied. The Sample Location field shows where the report samples, and the files required to render the report samples will be copied. The Create Start Menu Group and Create Desktop Shortcut checkboxes are used to create shortcut icons, and a Start Menu Group after Report Viewer SDK is installed. If you clear these options, you can start the application later by searching in Windows. Click the Next button. The Consent to Deploy Phantom.js WebKit dialog will open. Phantom.js is an executable, added while installing the Bold products. It is used to export the data visualization reports. Phantom.js is not necessary if you are installing Report Viewer SDK in a Windows operating system. But if you are exporting the report from an ASP.NET Core application, then it is necessary. By default, I agree to download phantom.js.exe and deploy it in my machine by accepting its license terms on License and Third-Party Documents checkbox is selected. Click the Next button. The Consent to Deploy Client Libraries dialog will open. If your report needs to connect with Oracle, MySQL, or PostgreSQL data sources, we need to install additional packages. Since Oracle, MySQL, and PostgreSQL are third-party software, we need to agree to their terms and conditions. By enabling the checkboxes, the packages will be automatically downloaded while installing. If you don't use data from these data sources, you can skip this step. For this demo, I enable the MySQL, Oracle.Managed Data Access, and NPGSQL 4.0.0 checkboxes. And then I click the Install button. Once the installation is complete, if you open the path in the Installation Location field, you will see the required assemblies and code are there. Since I have chosen Program Files x86 as my installation location, the Bold Reports folder is created there, with the embedded reporting folder inside it. The Assemblies folder contains the reporting tools DLLs for various frameworks such as .NET 4.0, 4.5, and 4.6. You can reference these assemblies to render the report viewer and writer components in your application. The Assemblies for Universal Windows folder contains a list of DLLs required to run UWP applications. The Client Libraries folder contains a Windows installer program file that is used to install the client libraries to connect to Oracle, MySQL, and PostgreSQL data sources. The Infrastructure folder contains the necessary files to launch the Report Viewer SDK control panel, installation logs, and license agreement file. The JavaScript folder contains additional scripts and style sheets that are used to render the reporting controls. The NuGet Packages folder contains all the .NUPKG packages that ship during the installation process. The Samples folder contains all the sample browser code. The Utilities folder contains additional DLL and application files that are used to start the reporting tool sample browser. After the installation process is complete, you can launch the application by clicking Launch Control Panel. The Report Viewer SDK control panel will open. The version number of Report Viewer SDK is displayed in the top right corner. The control panel provides access to samples and demos of the reporting components for the JavaScript, Angular, ASP.NET Core, ASP.NET MVC, ASP.NET Web Forms, WPF, and UWP platforms. Now let's see the common options that are available to all platforms in the control panel. The What's New and Release Notes options. We'll open the release history page in the browser, where you can find the features that have been recently added to the reporting tools. The README option. We'll open the README page. The User Guide option. We'll open the Report Viewer SDK documentation in the browser, based on the selected platform. The Theme Studio option. We'll open the Theme Studio in the browser. Theme Studio is used to customize the visual themes in the report viewer. The Licensed section displays the number of days the license is valid. The Sales option. We'll open the Report Viewer SDK pricing page in the browser. The Support option. We'll open the native email application for the user to contact the support team. The Suggest a Feature option. We'll open the Bold Reports feedback page, where the user can post a feature that they would like to have added in the Report Viewer SDK. The License Agreement option. We'll open the license agreement document in the browser. The Recheck option will check for the software required to open the samples and demos. Now let's see every platform compatible with Bold Reports Report Viewer SDK. First, let's see about the JavaScript platform. When you open the Report Viewer SDK control panel, by default, the JavaScript platform is selected. Clicking the Run Online Demos button, we'll open the browser, which will redirect to the Bold Reports online demo website demos.boldreports.com for the JavaScript platform. Clicking the Run Local Demos button, we'll open the browser and then open the local demos and samples for the JavaScript platform. In this page, you will see options to open the Report Designer and Report Viewer. Since these demo sample browsers are the same for Embedded Reporting and Report Viewer SDK, the Report Viewer and Report Designer controls are listed. Report Viewer SDK users don't have access to the Report Designer. So if they try to access it, they will receive a license validation error message. In the home page, you will also see a list of sample reports available in the sample browser. If you click a report sample, it will be opened in a new tab. I click the Try Report Viewer button, which opens the Report Viewer control in a new tab. In the Report Viewer control, the product line sales report is rendered. In this page, we can see the samples are listed on the left side. By clicking a sample in the list, the sample report will be loaded in the Report Viewer control, and the description of the report will be displayed. By switching to the Source tab, you can see the source code for how the report is integrated in the Report Viewer control. By switching to the Description tab, you can see a description of the demo and how it is integrated. If you want to open the report in a new window, you can click the Open in New Window icon. The code for the JavaScript samples are written in JavaScript. Clicking the Explore Demos button, we'll open the File Explorer where the JavaScript sample is located. Similarly, the sample browser for Angular has the same UI as the one for JavaScript, but the Angular one is written using the Angular framework. In the Angular sample browser, clicking the Explore Demos button, we'll open the File Explorer where the Angular samples are located. Let's see about the ASP.NET Core platform. To open the demos related to the ASP.NET Core platform from the control panel, click ASP.NET Core in the top tab. The Run Online Demos and Local Demos options have the same functionality as those we saw for the JavaScript demos, but this sample browser is written on the ASP.NET Core framework. In addition to the report viewer, the ASP.NET Core sample browser has an option to export the report using the Report Writer control. The Report Writer is a C# library for programmatically creating and exporting a report to various file formats like PDF, Word, Excel, and more without viewing it. It is widely used in scheduler and automation modules. An advantage of Report Writer is, it will create an SSRS-RDL or RDLC report programmatically in C# code, without the report designer control. Clicking the Try Report Writer button will redirect you to the Report Writer page. The Demo tab contains the list of reports which the user can export. The Save As option will show which format the report will be exported to. Click the Generate button, and the report will be exported to the selected format. If you open the downloaded file, you will see the report is exported to the selected format. Clicking the Explore Demos button will open the File Explorer and the location where the ASP.NET Core samples are. Report Viewer SDK provides an option to run the samples from the File Explorer. To open a sample, open its solution file in Visual Studio. Build and run the application. The sample will be loaded in the browser. Similarly, the ASP.NET MVC and ASP.NET Web Forms sample browsers have the same functionalities as ASP.NET Core, but the sample browser code is written in their respective platforms. Let's see about the WPF platform. To open the WPF samples from the control panel, click WPF in the top tab. Clicking the Explore Demos button will open the File Explorer where the WPF samples are located. WPF samples are available for the Report Viewer and Report Writer. To run a WPF sample, open its solution file in Visual Studio. Build and run the application. The report sample will be loaded. Similarly, the UWP sample browser has the same samples as WPF, but the sample browser code is written for the UWP platform. While running a local demo, the user may encounter an error. To troubleshoot the error, the user can refer to the following link. In this video, we learned how to install Bold Report's Report Viewer SDK and run its local samples. Stay tuned to this channel for our upcoming videos on Bold Reports. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.